I know a big part of this, of course, is we want everyone to be able to enjoy this game. So I think it'd be really cool just to show what normal mode is compared to something like Newcomer.
じゃあせっかくノーマルモードクリアしましたので、難易度の違いを見せるようにニューカマーモードを見せたいと思います。
BlockMan? So another question that we got, and it's a pretty straightforward one, I think. Jamie, another name I'm probably going to butcher, but Jamie Levert asks, is there someone from the previous Mega Man games working on 11? We do.
過去のロックマンの作品に関わった、開発の人間は今回も関わってますでしょうか？
はい、関わってます。まあ全部同じシリーズってわけじゃないですけど、過去にいろんなシリーズもありますけど、それに分かれて、例えば流星の関わったものもいれば、エグゼに関わったものもおります。はい。
英語の名前なんだっけ？バトルネットワーク。
Star Force.
So yes, there are definitely people working on Mega Man 11 who have worked on previous Mega Man games, but it's kind of like a whole spectrum of people where they've worked on like Mega Man Battle Network, Mega Man Star Force. It's not just like people working on like the main line. It's more of a larger spectrum of people.
Awesome.
今回でもね、やっぱりすごく気をつけたのは、メガマンを作ったことがあるスタッフだけを集めちゃうと、昔の思い出の延長のゲームを作っちゃうんで、メガマンを作ったベテランも必要だし、若い子供の頃メガマンで遊んでましたみたいな若いスタッフがいたりとか、そういういろんな、ね、メガマン作ったことある人、初めて作る人みたいなうまくミックスをわざとしていて、古い感覚のゲームを全員で作っちゃうっていうことがないように、すごくメンバーの構成はすごく考えてますね。
So the one thing that I did want to stress is the fact that I didn't want to just create a team that was built just purely out of veterans. There was a fear that if it's just people who have worked on the classic the games in the past, then we're gonna end up just creating something that is just built off of the nostalgia and isn't creating anything new. So because of that fear, I tried to compose a team that was a mix of not just veterans, but people who have been in development for a while but haven't developed Mega Man, and people who have actually, the younger generation who have actually played Mega Man and grew up with Mega Man, and offer like a different perspective on things. So that was kind of like a really important part of just trying to construct the best mix of R&D staff to make what we tried to set out and create.
Awesome. Cool. We can actually see some of like the murals and things in the background with this was mentioned earlier with like the background here with BlockMan on it.
そう、ここにブロック
そうですね。こういうふうに大きな火が。
Let's might as well touch on beginner or newcomer mode a little bit. And so we do have like the health is. I'm pointing to the screen like everyone on stream can see it. But the health, you'll notice like you take a little bit less damage from attacks. I'll show off a few other things. Like there's a few more checkpoints as well. Grab that real quick.
今のところニューカマーモードに対して、ダメージが半減したり、チェックポイントが増えて、他のところもいろいろ話したり。
これも従来のロックマンファンの概念からすると、ちょっと簡単に言うと簡単になりすぎて面白くなくなるんじゃないかって言われるかもしれないんですけど、でもやっぱり新しいこれもやったことない人にすれば難しすぎてもうとっつきようがないっていうところをどうしてもやっぱ回避したいっていう思いから、そこの文法をあえて崩すようにはしましたね。
So one of the things that we did consider is, if we create a Mega Man game is just catered towards new fans, then we were worried that like, okay, maybe we might make the game too easy, and at that point, all our longtime fans are kind of obviously be
Yeah.
annoyed at that and be like, hey, this game's too easy now. This is not what I'm asking for. But obviously, on the flip side, if you have somebody new coming in, trying out the game, and it's at that like really standard like Mega Man difficulty, then be like, wow, this is way too hard for me. Like I'm walking away from this. So that was where like we tried to place more importance on the different difficulty modes to just showcase like, hey, you know, this is really for everybody. We've designed it in a way that anybody you know, whether you're a newcomer or a veteran, you can step into this and you're still gonna have a fun brand new experience.
Cool. なので
I really like these puzzles. These are fun.
ものすごく簡単にはなっていや上手い人がプレイするとものすごく簡単になるとは思うんですけども、まあ、やっぱり初めての方にはそれでもやっぱそこそこ難しいシーンも多いと思います。でもまあちゃんと努力すれば普通のモード他のモードと同じように、まあトロフィーであるとか実績とかアチーブメントに関しては同じように解除されるようになってます。取れるやつに関して。
So we've definitely designed it in a way that, like, you know, if you keep playing it repeatedly, then obviously it's gonna be more familiar. It'll get easier over time.
Right.
But like, so that way it's like, oh, it incentivizes you to pick up more of the trophies or achievements. But yeah, that's definitely still an element that's there from like previous Mega Man games as well.
All right. Well, I think we should show off something else here, like, in case you happen to fall in a pit.
あとこう
And
余
Pete
裕があ
comes
れ
and
ば
saves you.
ショットボタンをめちゃくちゃ連打してみてほしい。
Like if you could just keep rapid fire the
も
Buster.
っともっともっと
Oh.
弾がいっぱいノーマルよりいっぱい出てるって気づく。
So just wanted to showcase the fact that, like, compared to normal mode, in newcomer mode, the number of Buster shots fired is a lot
okay.
more.
にノーマルだと伝統的なルールの通り3発しか撃てないんだけど、ニューカマーは6発でしたっけ、制限ないですが6発
ですね。はい。まあ実質6発だったら画面中弾だらけになるんで、まあ弾幕を張ることができますね。
So in normal mode, it's the standard number of shots that you have in a classic Mega Man game, which is 3 shots.
Yeah.
But in the newcomer mode, we have it up to 6 shots can display on screen. We did consider thinking about having it as infinite number of shots, but then it just the screen would just look crazy. So it was set to 6.
これもなんでこういうことをしてるかというと、やっぱりゲームの気持ちいい部分をまず体験してもらって、楽しさ、敵を倒して前に行くっていう楽しさを先に味わってもらって、何度も何度も同じところで穴に落ちてもう俺やだみたいな嫌な気持ちになるより先にメガマンの気持ちいい部分を体験してもらいたいから、こういうショットが実はこっそりいっぱい打てたりとかっていうのを細かい部分までやってるんですよ。
So definitely what we wanted to pay attention to when creating newcomer mode was just making sure that anyone trying out newcomer mode, playing Mega Man for the first time, is understanding like what's fun about the game and what makes the series great.
Right.
And so rather than dealing with the frustration of like falling into a pit and dying immediately, you know, you have Beat come and save you. Just the satisfaction of firing a bunch of shots and destroying an enemy, not having that limitation.
It's pretty fun.
Those are like the small components that we would make and fine tune to make sure that it was a fun experience for anyone jumping into the game.
メガマンの不思議なところはやっぱり1回クリアすることができるようになった後も、こうやったらもう少し早くプレイできるんじゃないかとか、もっとかっこよくプレイできるんじゃないのかっていうのが自分の中で理想形がだんだん作られていって、それが今回2つのギアと絡まって、それをより実現させやすくなるように作ったつもりですね。
So I think a lot of fans, you know, it's a type of game where you can beat it, but even after beating it, you're gonna kind of come back to it and think like, all right, like maybe I want to try to beat it in a specific way. Maybe I can clear through the stage faster if I do this particular thing.
Right.
And kind of like you start to cement a very specific type of way that you want to play the game, and especially with the addition of the power gear and the speed gear, we wanted to kind of emphasize that element of fun that a lot of players have with the Mega Man franchise, which is really not just beating the game, but like beating it in a way that like you gain your own sense of satisfaction.
Right. Well, one thing I've noticed, like, just playing this over time was
背景が、最初は、朝頃みたいだったけど、ステージ進むたびにだんだんなんか夜になってくるっていうのをなんかそういう細かい点もすごい良かったと感じています。
そうですね。いちいち細かくストーリー説明はしてないんですけど、やっぱそのステージの中でも進行に応じて物語性が感じられるような工夫っていうのは各デザイナーがいろいろ知恵を絞って作ってくれてますね。
So obviously there's not going to be like really in-depth storytelling like within the stage itself.
Right.
But each designer definitely wanted to tell some kind of narrative as you go through the stage. So yeah, each stage kind of has different elements that kind of tell a story, kind of tell a narrative as you progress further and further along.
Cool. Let me get through this. We have another community question on to make sure we get to. As soon as I get off this. Oh, there we go. So this was Alf on this.
最初は現代風に長い曲を作ったりもしたんですけど、やっぱり合わせてみたらやっぱ違うよねってなったんですよね。で、その文法に照らしてもう一回キュッとコンパクトにしてループして鳴らした時に気持ちよく聞こえるようなものにしてみたらいいんじゃないかっていうところで立ち返ってもう一回BGM を作り直してもらいましたね。
So development team was definitely very conscious of the fact that Mega Man music is definitely one of the bigger points of the franchise. And yes, we felt a tremendous amount of pressure in creating it. So one of the things that we definitely wanted to stress, and we were very conscious of, is the fact that like a lot of Mega Man tunes are things that you can kind of hum, you can kind of like play back in your head, and we did mess around with maybe extending the tracks a little bit longer, making it a little bit more modern in that sense. But when we actually like dropped the song into the stage itself and we like played it back and we played the game with it in the background, it was like, oh, this doesn't feel right. Like this doesn't mesh well. So we decided to make it more compact and kind of go from there. And that's where that's the process that we made.
I just missed that guy.
In creating the music for this game.
単純に過去の曲調をなぞるだけじゃなくて、やっぱり聴いた時にプレイをしてる自分が励まされるようなものであったりとか、そのステージのストーリーを感じられるようなものにしてくれっていう風にちょっと無茶なオーダー投げたんですけど、でもちゃんとBGM のコンポーザーはそれ汲み取ってバッチリしたものを出してくれたと思います。
So it was I feel like the order that the directive that I had given was pretty difficult, and I was very aware of that. But I told the composer, I want music that kind of like keeps the player motivated, kind of boosts their morale up, and also helps to tell the narrative of that stage. And I think the composer did a great job in following what I had originally requested.
It's great music. Cool. I think that's most of the questions we had from the community aspect. Let's give BlockMan another shot here. I love his dialogue, by the way.
セリフが渋いですね。
そうですね。過去の6も当然ボイスも当然なかったんですけど、今回はビジュアルも上がってて、それに伴って音声の方もパワーアップしていこうということで、ギアというのは新しい要素が入ったことですので、お互いのギアがぶつかり合う様を、セリフによってより分かりやすく表現しようというな感じのセリフにしております。
So by like modernizing the visual look, we wanted to make sure that like other components of the game kind of aligned with that. So by also introducing a brand new system, the double gear system, we also wanted to kind of include dialogue in there that kind of showcases the clashing of the gears, showcasing like this is how I use my gear, and this is how you're using your gear, and like just having some dialogue to tell a greater narrative.
Right. No, we didn't get to show off the way the double gear system works. In fact, I didn't take enough damage to do that.
なんかよく考えてみればダブルギアなんかダメージ
Yeah,
ダ
I
メー
think
ジ
it's just worth stressing. It's completely optional. Like you can play through this whole game without ever having to use them. I think they're fun, but I mean, it's as was already mentioned. Please play the way that feels best for you. But I think we're about ready to wrap up. So let me see if I can take a little bit of damage. We'll maybe show off the double gear system real quick. But were there any just messages for the fans, and just in general, that they'd like to share?
あと少しでライブストリーム終わりますけれど、終了する前に、
I can't take damage. It's too hard.
ファンに対してのコメント、開発のコメントとかは何かありますでしょうか。
そうですね、はい。かなり長い間お待たせしてしまって本当に申し訳ありませんでした。はい。ロックマン11は10月発売目指して順調に開発を進めております。で、新しいプレイヤーロックマンを知らないとかやったことない、あんまりやったことないというプレイヤーからもうロックマンメガマンなら任しとけっていうようなプレイヤーまで全てのプレイヤーに対して、ドラマチックなバトルが展開されるような仕組みを入れてますので、ぜひ新たなる挑戦を楽しみに待っててください。
So first off, just want to say thank you so much for waiting so long. We are diligently working towards a October release of Mega Man 11, and whether you are someone stepping into the franchise for the very first time or someone who's been playing every single Mega Man game, we really feel like this is something that you can step into and still have that same level of fun. So please look forward to it.
はい。じゃあそうですね、メガマン11はとても信頼がおけるスタッフと、今本当に作ってます。で、今回見せてるステージはすごくまだほんのごく一部で、まだまだみんながびっくりするような素晴らしいデザインのステージがたくさんまだ出てきますので、今後のね、新しいニュースに本当に楽しみにして待っててもらえると嬉しいなと思います。はい。
So just definitely want to just stress that this is a team built of a lot of people that I trust, and the stage that we showed you today, BlockMan stage, is just one small component of the game. So please stay tuned for other upcoming news. There's definitely a lot of exciting new features that we have in all the different stages. So please look forward to that as well.
Cool. Well, I think we should show off the power gear, or double gear, I should say, real quick. I think it's just cool. There we go. All right, so a lot more of that soon enough, out in October, but I think that about wraps